Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. I just wanted to come on here and talk about my experience moving to Dallas. When I was moving out here, I watched every video that I could watch of young people who look like me, who were trying something new, coming from a new city. And one thing I did realize is that there weren't too many people who were doing it like me. We moved during the pandemic and we moved with three kids. So those two things presented lots of challenges, and there's some things I wish I would have known before I came here. Um, all the usual stuff. It's hard to leave your family and your friends and everything you've known to try a new life in a different city, and it happened quickly. So my husband put in a transfer for his job, and it took about 7 months to come through. And when it came through, it was like a shock, and I wasn't sure if we should do it, if we should wait. But the reality is, who knows how long the pandemic is going to last? And should you wait until everything is in its optimal position before making a change? I don't think so. And I didn't think that was the right thing to do. It's always been my husband's dream to move out of New York, which is where we're from, if I haven't said that already. Um, and we've lived there with kids for like the last 10 years. And otherwise, all of our lives. We're in our 30s, so this is going to be something new and crazy for us. Um, so I had to make a move fast. His job only gave us a little bit of extended time just because of the pandemic. But otherwise, they wanted us to move in like 2 weeks without any assistance. So that means find a place to live. Um, School was already remote for my child, my oldest child, so he just stayed in his remote school and finished up the New York school year. Um, but finding a place to live was pretty big. And because of the pandemic, flights were like pretty much grounded, and we couldn't fly back and forth to check out things. So I had to rely on reviews, phone calls, budget, of course. And in hindsight, or I've learned about apartment locators now, and I've seen so many young people using locators and having great success. I didn't even know that was a thing. I've never used the apartment locator before, even living in New York. I've lived in the same development for like 10 years in two different apartments, and it was where my family lived, is where I grew up. It wasn't really something that I needed help with, but I did it on my own. I don't love the apartment. When I move out, I'm going to give you guys the lowdown on the place, and I definitely do not recommend it. Whenever people ask me how the apartment was or how I liked it, the best thing I could say is there's a pool for the kids, and that's still how I feel about it. Otherwise, it's kind of a nightmare. Um, and the other upside is that it's very close to my husband's job. Um, but that's all it has going for it for me. Um, I'm not sure, what else to say, except for, try something new. Like, you only live once, not to sound cliche, but you don't know what the outcome of something is going to be until you try it. We've been here now for almost 8 months. Um, I do think there's some amazing things to do in Dallas. Dallas is pretty much open even during the pandemic. You wear your mask and you go. People are super friendly here. We haven't really encountered any behavior that would warn me away from anyone. Of course, people bristle when you go to a neighborhood where you don't look like them, but no overt violence or words or attitudes towards us. So far, we've been to the Fort Worth Zoo, the Dallas Botanical Garden, um, the Fort Worth Botanical Garden, an aquarium in Grapevine, and I can list, separate videos for that. And I do wish that I would have recorded when I was coming down here before, with, and during the move with the kids. But right now it's just a reflection type of video, and I'm not sure which direction my channel is going to take, but this is where I'm starting. Um, so, like I said, the biggest thing I think is to try something, and you can't count yourself out or say that you hate something, or you're not going to do it, or you don't like it, or I can't, I won't, but you have to try. I do think the job market out here is amazing. There are a lot of big companies that have brought their business here. The housing market is very competitive. That is the next step for us as well. We are looking for a house for our family to put down roots. Even if you don't find your dream job, there's gig work, and people like sleep on gig work or shy away from it. But if you have a car and you need one in Dallas, you can do Uber Eats, DoorDash, Seamless, Postmates, Instacart. These people are making money and you can do it on your time. There are so many opportunities. Like, don't limit yourself because you haven't found the job that you went to college for or the job you always thought you would have. You can make money on social media if you post your activities and people like what you have to say. You have to try something. And right now, my car is my recording studio until I find, a place that I can jazz up and, make footage from. But welcome. This is me. This is us. And I'm sorry if I haven't introduced myself. I'm Sherelle. And this is my journey moving to Dallas with kids during the pandemic. And we'll see where it goes. I'm not really sure where I want to go, but it's some stuff I just have on my chest. And I just want people to be encouraged. If you want to try something new, do not let what anyone has to say hold you back. If you are a part of a family, a partnership, husband, wife, girlfriend, children, you absolutely have to consider other people's needs, or you should. And you want to make sure that you can feed yourself and or your family. So once you have those things secure, whether that means saving up a nest egg so that you have something to rely on while you look for work, or if that means securing a job before you come, which is basically what we did because my husband had a transfer. Try something, do something. Don't feel limited because there's a whole wide world out there. And I'm from New York City, and no one can argue with me. New York City is the best city in the world, but it's just a small part of the world. And who knows if we might move somewhere else in 5 years or 10 years, or, when we retire and you want to live a different life. You got to be able to try things and sometimes step out on faith, even if it doesn't go smoothly at first or you don't love the initial setup. There's still so many opportunities. But we're going to get into more of like the cost of living and the changes that I had to make, or things that are just different than what I'm used to, and maybe help someone else know what to expect moving out here. But see y'all in the next video.